Hey guys, it's Jeremy Miner here. Today we're going to talk about words or phrases you should avoid in your sales calls and conversations. What are certain words and languaging that you may be using right now that you don't even know is triggering sales pressure and resistance with many of your prospects? You have to learn to avoid these words like the plague if you want to be at the top in sales and make a ton of money. You see, most salespeople are not even aware that many of the words they use cause most of your prospects to look at you as the dreaded salesperson who only cares about selling them something. Look at these statements and questions. Do you know what all these phrases have in common? I'm just calling to see if you'd be interested in. Can I come by and show you what we can do for you, John? How about we schedule another call to move this forward, Sally? Do you still want to move this forward? When should I follow up with you again? Just sign the contract here. At the end of the call, you can make an educated and informed decision. What do all those phrases have in common? They're so bad. Well, they're all used by every single salesperson out there selling anything. And because your prospects have heard them every day from pushy salespeople, it automatically triggers sales resistance when you use them. Their wall goes up and your prospects looks for ways to get rid of you. Again, try to imagine for a second that you're having a conversation with a friend or family member. Would you talk like that? Would you ask those type of weird questions? For example, when you say sign the contract here, this is one you want to avoid. Why? Because no one wants to ever sign a contract. That phrase will make so many of your prospects hesitant that they're getting locked into something that they might not want or may later regret. So what should you say instead to make that statement more neutral? Here's the same thing. Just authorize the agreement here, John. Just authorize the agreement. Means the exact same thing, but it's far more neutral. Your prospect's okay with authorizing an agreement to move forward with your solution and solve their problems, right? Now let me give you another example of how your words can trigger sales resistance from your prospects. Let's say that you're coming to the end of a conversation with a prospect. Let's say you do a 2-call close, and then you try to close them on getting another appointment with you. Here's what that might look like. John, why don't we schedule another call soon to talk more about our solution and what we can do for you? But what would happen if you attempted to close them on having another appointment with you when they haven't even decided if they even want to talk to you again, especially if this was a cold call? You would automatically trigger sales resistance in the prospect. They would push back, throw out objections, try to stall, try to get rid of you. And as soon as they feel pressure, they resist you. You know what I'm talking about. Now, why is that? Because when you trigger sales resistance, any trust they had with you is gone forever. The sale's over. And if they don't trust you, do you think it's going to be a lot harder for you to sell them your solution? So if you want to book an appointment, change your language and make it more neutral. It means the same thing, but you take the pressure out of it. Let's look at these examples. I'd write these down if I were you. Sally, with your permission, we can set up another appointment to see if what we do would work for your situation that you talked about. Would that be appropriate? See how I did that? Or how about this way? John, would it be appropriate for us to talk again on the phone to see if we could help you? Or this way? Would it make sense for us to talk again to see if what we're doing might fit into what your company's looking for? Or how about this? Would you be open to us having another conversation around XYZ, repeat back their problem, to see if we could possibly help you solve that? When you use neutral questions such as these with your prospects, you diffuse any sales pressure. It gives your prospect the message you were there for them and that you generally want to see if you can help them. This will make them view you so differently from how they view any other salesperson they've ever talked to before. This is when you become an insider, a trusted authority, the expert who's focused on helping them rather than how they view most as the stereotypical salesperson who's only trying to stuff their solution down their throat. See how that works? Okay, we just went over what words or phrases to avoid in your conversations that's triggering sales resistance. And that is your tip for the day.